course is just under a mile long. The speeds shown are in miles per hour. They start uphill, turning right to the top, then it's hard right into the main road and downhill to a gentle right. A long downhill straight to the S section, then right into the short finish straight, which is all downhill. Plenty of potential for trouble and a maximum speed of just over 100 miles an hour. Let's take a look now with Mike Marshall. Turning slightly right uphill. Around 14 seconds to that brow. Up to third, to fourth, and back to third, dabbing the brakes. Tucking the right-hand front wheel in, right on that curb, tail sliding, feathering the accelerator to keep control of the back, and this long, long straight. Speeds of about 100 miles an hour, some competitors slightly over for this. Right-hander here, at the edge of that, setting up for a left-hander. Coming to their section. See nice tight lines from Mike Marshall, still New Zealand's fastest rally driver. And that final bend is the tricky one, and a sprint straight down now to the finish line. Jim Richards, the current Australian saloon car champion, flown back to New Zealand specially for this event. Jim has not competed on soft metal for 4 years. He's best known here for his fast, aggressive saloon car driving. Today in the Nilex Vinyl Top RS 1800. Our second seed is Leo Leonard, again a driver better known in the world of big banger saloons. Leo's name is synonymous with the huge PDL Mustang. Like Richards, he's no newcomer.
He
has the Lion Ford 2-litre Escort with a 4-speed box. He'll be very hard to beat. Blair Robson is the current national rally champion. A mass sport team driver, his 2-litre 5-speed Escort is a virtual factory car, having been copied almost exactly from English work specs. Still regarded as New Zealand's fastest rally driver, despite his recent bad luck, Mike Marshall is another using the popular 5-speed
2-litre Escort.
Keep an eye on him today. Paul Adams, third in last year's international rally and always a fierce competitor. He's also running a 2-litre 5-speed and near factory trim. He's in the Nilex team. Howard Collier, competing the formidable Ford Escort lineup, another top-line national rally competitor, and currently in excellent form. Howard's car is extremely quick. John Woolf, a consistent top performer at national level. John is one of only 3 competitors today using a Mazda Rotary. He's in the Nilex team, and the Mazda is an RX-3 13B. In round 1, we have 16 starters, 8 seeds and 8 qualifiers. We drop the slowest 4 from each round up to the semi-final, where the 2 fastest are the finalists. First up in round 1, this is Max Irwin. This is a Mark 1 Escort with a V8 motor, combination of old Buick parts and new Leyland P76 parts, making up what was originally a 3.5 V8 to about 4.4 litres. This car, what would be rightly called a backyard builder. Max Irwin, let's look at his speed at the end of the straight. Should be 100 miles an hour, lots of power.
98 miles an hour as he comes past.
And 98 miles an hour on that line for Max Irwin. Fairly good tight lines. He's got a lot of horsepower and a little bit of excess weight for the size of this car. Watch the final bend. Fairly untidy. The sprint to the finish line. 54.09 for Max Irwin. Warren Hull's our next competitor in round 1. This is a Datsun 120Y with a 1600cc overhead cam motor in it. A combination available off the factory floor in Japan and the States, but not in New Zealand. He's built it up. He works for Reg Cook, who makes Datsuns go fast all day. Very untidy. The tail end a little light on this machine, as you'll see, and 54.47 to the finish line. A top speed of 94 miles an hour for Warren Hull. Let's have a look again. That tail end very light in this car, of course. Snaking there slightly as he came through the S section. The final bend, he had it oversteered, almost losing the tail right around, but enough power, 190 horsepower, to get him out of that, and the straight line to the finish in 54.47. This is Paul Adams, a 5-speed 4-speed 2-litre Escort with most of the factory available bits on it. Adams, a good top-line national competitor. Tight line through there, snaking a little bit on the inside. 53.99 for Paul Adams and 99 in the straight line. 99 miles an hour and 53.99. Mike Marshall, New Zealand's fastest rally driver. Mike Marshall has seen in practice all day that saloon car drivers and some of the lower ranked competitors have perhaps been showing him up a little, so he'll be trying to pick up the pace. He's tried the wide lines.
And one expects he may try
Tighter lines that the saloon car drivers have been using, and in fact he is on quite a much tighter line than he was in earlier rounds in practice. He should get 100 miles an hour in a straight line for Mike Marshall. Long downhill straight. At the end of that, 99 miles an hour for Mike Marshall. The pace is good at the moment. He's picking up well. Tighter lines than he normally uses. Far closer to the inside of that circuit. Round the outside, and he's lost it. Marshall's over the bank. Just got the tail end a little too far out, caught the edge of the bank, overcorrected, and he was over the bank and down in the toys.
Out of sight, down the bank.
Let's have a look at it again. He was on tighter lines than he normally uses, trying, I think, to copy saloon car drivers who've been quickest on this circuit. Just caught the tail end, got it round the wrong way, power still on and right over the bank. And he's a good 60 feet down that bank.
All of us, please stand back.
And there's the car. It won't be in very good shape. Let's hope Mike Marshall and his co-driver can get out of there. There's Marshall out of the car. He's okay, saved by the roll cage. Very seldom we have an injury in rallying, and the co-driver's climbing out. Doesn't look too happy with the situation, but he's not injured. And there you see how far it is back up to the road. So disaster for Mike Marshall, but he's okay, and that's the good news. Mike Marshall, Leo Leonard, the next runner in our first round. This is a 2-litre Escort with a 4-speed box. 4-speed box not noted for their reliability. They break easily, especially with 2 litres behind them. But Leo Leonard's holding together well.
He's been driving tight lines
All day in beautiful style. He's looking at 100 miles an hour at the end of the straight. Very, very tight lines. He's got A2 tyres, which go best on a hard surface. The top of the surface, all the dirt and shingle has been scrubbed off, so they're onto clay now. 100 miles an hour for Leo Leonard at the end of that straight. Extremely tight lines. One of 2 circuit drivers, Leo and Jim Richards. We didn't expect to be performing well, but he's been fast all day. Watch the time over the line, 52.22, and that is faster than anybody else so far. Leo Leonard, an extremely good time, 100 mile an hour on the straight and 52.22. He'll be pleased with that.
34.9. 34.9 to me. 97.
George Cuttle, completely unmarked car, doesn't seem to need sponsorship. He's a little off the pace so far, 97 at the end of the straight. Just a little slow to this point. Watch the final bend, see what sort of a line he gets. Right on the inside, 54.56, a wee bit too slow, I would think, to get him through to the next round, but a good run nevertheless from George Cuttle. This is Kevin Rand, another Escort. Kevin Rand, 96 at the end of the straight, 96 miles an hour. He again is a little off the pace. George Cuttle before him, too slow to qualify. Watch his time, 55.43, 55.43 for Kevin Rand. May just exclude him from the next round. We'll have to wait and see.
That was Kevin Rand there.
Jim Richards, our #1 seed. Final top Escort. This is an 1800 Escort, slightly down on power. He again is using a 4-speed box instead of the conventional 5. Let's hope it holds together for him. Jim Richards all the way from Australia. He's no newcomer to soft metal though. In 1973 he won 15 stages on the Heatway International Rally. Hannu Mikkola only won 23 of them, so that's fairly good going. But he has been off soft metal for 4 years. He's made a remarkable comeback. His times have been getting quicker by almost half a second a run in practice. 55.42, his fastest run in practice so far. He will need to be under that on this run. 96 miles an hour at the end of the straight. Watch stretching through the S section. Again, the saloon car characteristics of tight lines, not using all of the road. Very tight line in that final one. Watch it across the line. 53.38. 53.38 for Jim Richards with a 96 mile an hour top speed. That is an excellent time.
35.8, and we had 96 miles an hour.
This is Ken Vincent.
95 miles an hour.
95 miles an hour for Ken Vincent in the Mark 1 Escort. He will need to be quicker than that to qualify. There's too many people going too fast. He's off the pace so far. He's about a second down on what he should be. Final bend, a little bit twitchy. Sprint to the finish line, and 54.69. Just enough, I think, slow enough to exclude Ken Vincent from the next round. Here's Brian Watkin, a very good rally sprint exponent. Put up the fastest time in TV1's recent rally sprint. A little bit down on horsepower. 94 miles an hour at the end of the straight. So he's perhaps a little off the pace, but this is where he can pick it up in this S section. His cornering's been good. Watching in practice, he's been very tight on cornering. Nice line, very, very tight on that final one, and a good straight sprint to the finish line, and 52.72 for Brian Watkin. Fast enough, I think, to qualify him. There's the crowd fighting the dust from all of these cars. Power like that on a corner pushes dust everywhere. This is John Woolf. He had 101 miles an hour, the fastest time to date in this RX3 13B Mazda, to the finish line in 53.31, John Woolf. 53.31, quick enough to qualify him. One of New Zealand's upcoming rally drivers, consistently good at national level. Mike Limbrick. The time, not fast enough, I think. He may pick it up here. Exceptionally good cornering. He was only 85 in a straight line, 85 miles an hour. That's way off the pace, but he's been good so far. He must have tight lines. Look at the final. Across the line, 54.42. 54.42 for Mike Limbrick. Mark Jennings. Microwave showing up. 96 miles an hour at the end of the straight. His escort. Limbrick taking nice lines. Mark Jennings, sorry.
He's riding to the side off here.
Inside, good sprint to the finish. 53.53 for Mark Jennings. 53.53, perhaps quick enough. We'll have to wait and see. Here's the national rally champion, Blair Robson. He's already had a 96 miles an hour in the straight line, and his best time, 52.75. Blair Robson almost taking away the signs as he goes. Very, very wide on that top corner at the top of the hill, down the straight. Very, very wide indeed. Blair Robson, a typical New Zealand-style rally driver, uses all the road. He's been at the top level of competition for a number of years, Blair. He's currently the #2 Motorsport driver in the country, but the current national rally champion. Very, very wide, almost wide enough to take the side. Loads of power at the back wheels and using every inch of road available. Blair Robson, a most spectacular driver. Look at the final bend, way out on the side of the road. A good sprint to the finish line. 52.73 for the national rally champion, Blair Robson.
Blair Robson.
And that's the result of Blair Robson's wide driving. Here's Glenn Ellis. He's had over 100 miles an hour in a straight, and there's 101 miles an hour. At good speed. This is the ex-Rodney Millen RX3 Mazda. It's a 13B. Somewhere around 260 horsepower from that motor. It's a quick car, one that Rodney Millen managed to run to national champion winning status 3 years in a row. Ellis getting to terms with it, 53.63, 101 miles an hour, and 53.63 for Glenn Ellis. Here's Howard Collier. Howard Collier again, a man who has been over 100 miles an hour today in the straight line. This is an exceptionally quick 5-speed 2-litre Escort. Collier just under his best pace there. 99 miles an hour in a straight line. He's making it up in the corners. He's got lovely tight lines. Beautifully done through there. Watch the S section. Collier to the final bend. lovely line and a good straight sprint. Watch the time over the line, 51.95, and that is the fastest time of this round. The fastest time to Howard Collier from round 1.
Howard Collier, 53.36 last time.
Howard, the quickest time so far. How did you manage it?
We started off, got out of first quick and into second up that first little steep bit, which made a lot of difference, got a lot of bite, which we hadn't been getting before in first gear. And that sort of compensated for the misgear when we were coming down the chute there.
How about from now on? Can you improve?
I don't know if there's much there really. We'll have to wait and see.
Leo, you had the quickest time in practice. It's just been beaten by Howard Collier, but you're still showing these rally boys the way. What's the secret?
I'm a bit surprised with our performance. The car's reasonably competitive, and it's the first time we've competed against these fellas with a competitive car, and we weren't sure how we were going to go, so we're very satisfied with the way the thing's going.
What approach are you taking to it?
We're going flat out, as fast as we can with everything we've got.
Do you think you can improve on the time you've done so far?
Marginally.
Marginally?
Yes.
How marginally?
A half a second per run.
At the end of round 1, we reduced the 16 seeds to 12. That means the slowest 4 are eliminated. Mike Marshall's out for obvious reasons. Kevin Rand goes out along with George Cuttle and Ken Vincent, leaving 12 starters for round 2. The fastest run in each round picks up $100. So from round 1, that's Howard Collier in the Nathan's Travel Escort with a 51.95. Earlier in the day, we saw some interesting cars. Here's one of them, a New Zealand-built Eureka sports car. These are normally powered by a Ford engine, but this one has a 12A Mazda rotary in it, developed to stage 2 by Bill Shields of Auckland, Harvard Daniels at the wheel. It's an interesting car. It's longer in the wheelbase than a normal saloon, a little wider as well, but the longer wheelbase makes it harder to control on shingle. When you get the tail sliding, it is harder to get sliding, and when you get it sliding, it's harder to bring back again. So a difficult car indeed to control. Watch Harvard Daniels. He's an exceptionally good rally pilot. Probably the only person in the country that can get this machine going as quickly as he does. There you see the characteristics of the long wheelbase. Tail right out. It's an all fiberglass machine. Howard Daniels at exceptionally good pace. He's right on the limit. And he's lost it. Daniels has lost it. He got the tail just too far round, clipped the edge of the bank, and turned it over completely.
Well back. We can't even see the car.
I think both competitors will be okay, saved by that roll cage. Now watch Harvard Daniels as he came to the edge of that corner. As the tail slid right out. It's very hard to bring back again. Coming to the final bend, he just overcooked it slightly. He got it oversteered just too far around, the back right around, and hitting tail on into the bank and flipped it completely, about 75 miles an hour at that stage. The fiberglass panels flying everywhere and the crowd running for cover. And a shower of dust upturned on the roof. And both drivers, as we see, are out and okay. A lot of fiberglass damage, but the roll cage saving the drivers. They're both quite okay. There's a tentative look on the face of John Cowan. Doesn't look terribly happy at this stage. Early elimination round. It's a Mark 1 Escort. Tight line through there at 86 at the end of the straight, so we're slightly off the pace and trying to pick it up here. Centre road, good lines, final bend, and just caught the edge of it, end for end and upside down. John Cowan, that car's known as the Phoenix. It's been crashed so many times and rebuilt. Cowan's out of the car. Let's look again at how he did it. He came to that final bend, he set it sliding to get set up for the corner. He got too far wide, got into the wrong camber, caught the tail end, flipped it up, end for end, completely over and upside down. And now we will probably see that car being rebuilt for the 5th time. He crashed it earlier. Jim Donald's crashed it. In fact, it's been crashed by experts all over the country.
Right off the road, please. It's not a spectacle to be galloped down to have a shusty at.
With the pace considerably quicker in round 2, we again eliminated the slowest 4. Brian Watkin, Mark Jennings, Mike Limbrick and Max Irwin were out, leaving 8. The fastest run was Leo Leonard's 50.79, so he was $100 richer. Round 3, Jim Richards. Jim Richards has had exceedingly good times in an 1800 machine. Looking from his point of view, quick right-hander here, setting up for a left-hander coming up. Richards' best time, 52.8 at the moment.
Very, very clean.
A little bit wide at the end there, on the line, 51.42 for Jim Richards. 51.42. Now that will be hard to beat, and I very much doubt if anyone will put him out of the final. Leo Leonard, our number 2 seed and second starter in round 3. Leo's had a best time so far of 57.9, 50.79. He's been looking at 100 miles an hour at the end of the straight. He's had beautifully tight lines, typical of a circuit driver all day. He's picked up almost half a second a lap. 100 miles an hour at the end of the straight for Leo Leonard. Power on through that corner. A lovely tight line. Using clay where the traction is, in the middle of the circuit, straight lining as much as possible. Watch the final bend. Let's have a look at his time as he comes to the finish line. 51.20 for Leo Leonard. 51.20 should qualify him happily for the semi-final. Leo Leonard will be pleased with that run. Paul Adams is third runner in round 3. This is another 5-speed 2-litre Escort. Now watch the gear changes. He's to second gear at the top of this brow, round to the right. Little right-hander coming up, 4th gear. Back to 3rd, dabbing the brakes. Into 4th again. And he'll be in 5th gear coming up now. 5th gear right down this straight. Adams 100 miles an hour on that straight. Slight right-hander, and he now has to set up for the left-hander coming up. There's the left-hander. Fighting that wheel. It's fast and furious stuff on this circuit. This has got to be a fairly fast time for Paul Adams. Approaching the finish line. And there it is, 52.55 for Paul Adams. That'll be a borderline. We'll have to wait and see what the rest of the competitors do to see if he gets to the semi-final. Here's Warren Hull, the 120 wide Datsun with the 1600cc single overhead cam motor in it, very wide at the top of the brow, setting up for this right kink, coming up, dab the brakes, tuck the front inside wheel in, into top gear and down this long straight. Warren Hull works for Reg Cook, the man who makes Datsuns go faster than anybody else can in the country. 190 horsepower he's getting out of a 1600 single overhead cam motor. The light nature of this car makes it a little hard to keep in a straight line. It's quite twitchy sometimes, the back end sliding very, very easily. Watch the tail, nice tight line as he comes to the final bend. And 52.69 for Warren Hull, 52.69. John Woolf, Mazda RX-3, it's a 13B developed to stage 3.
102 miles an hour.
John Woolf, very, very fast, 101 at the end of the straight. To the final bend, sprinting, oh, just a little bit too wide there, 52.05, still a very fast time for John Woolf. He'll be happy with that and should put him through to the final, certainly to the semi anyway. Here's the National Rally Champion. He's been a little off form today, slightly slower than some of the top competitors today. Blair Robson, a complete factory replica of this car.
The Massport team, because of their association with Ford of Britain, have access to blueprints and plans
for factory cars, so there's nothing that's on the factory cars that they haven't put on this.
Blair Robson, the current national rally champion, being shown up a little bit
Today by some
Circuit drivers.
Watch him down the straight.
He's had 100 miles an hour before today. The end of the straight.
99, just under the 100. 99 miles an hour for Blair at the end of the straight, using all the road. Wide on the corners, loads of power on. Oh, nearly too wide on that one. Watch the time across the line, 52.28 for Blair Robson, slightly off the pace. We'll have to wait and see if he will qualify for the semi. Our quickest man in round one was Howard Collier. This is him in round three. That car 101 miles an hour in a straight line. It's exceptionally quick. It's another 2-litre 5-speed Escort. Tight lines, just a little wide, the camera all wrong on that final piece. Look at the finish time, 52.18 for Howard Collier, fast enough I think to put him comfortably through to the semi. Howard Collier. Our final runner in round three is Glenn Ellis in the ex-Rodney Millen RX3 Mazda. This is another 13B motor developed to stage 3. Rodney Millen won 3 national championships in it. Glenn Ellis, a newcomer to the car, but getting it sorted very quickly, picking up faster times with each run. Nice tight line in that final bend. 52.39. That will be borderline. We'll have to wait and see. 52.39 for Glenn Ellis. From round three, take out Paul Adams, Warren Hull, Blair Robson and Glenn Ellis. Leo Leonard again had the fastest run at 51.20, so we have 4 starters for the semi-final. First runner in the semi, Jim Richards. Jim Richards has had 51.40 today. Should be faster in this. With the right-hander approaching the top. On the brow and along the main road. Downhill from here on. Jim Richards just slightly down on power with this 1800cc machine. The other top liners with 2 litres. Using typical circuit driving tactics, looking at each corner on every run and looking for a faster way through. And it would seem that the 4-speed Escorts have been quicker on the circuit today than the 5s. Lifting the front wheel through that bend. Beautiful tight line. Jim Richards right on form. After 4 years away from soft metal driving, he's come back with a vengeance. Slightly wide. Look at the finish time. 51.27 for Jim Richards. 51.27 is very quick indeed.
Waiting for Collier next time.
Jim Richards will be happy with that time.
98 miles now. We got back to the things here. 98 miles now to him fast.
Howard Collier. Howard Collier has been the fastest of the rally competitors today. Right on form. He's a consistent top performer at national level in rallying. Always there in the top placings. Good time to the top of the brow. He's had over 100 miles an hour out of this Escort today too. It's an exceptionally fast one. Miles an hour for Howard Collier at the end of that straight. Tight lines. He needs better than 51.27. Jim Richards' time of 51.27. Too wide on that corner. Losing hundredths of a second, and they all count 51.47. So unless Leo Leonard falls off the road, he may not qualify for the final. Howard Collier. John Woolf, the 3rd runner in our semi-final. This Mazda has been consistently over 100 miles an hour in a straight line, and John Woolf driving beautifully in the corners. Tight lines all the way. Characteristic splayed front end of that Mazda. Let's watch him in the long straight. Winding up in 5th gear. Has consistently been over 100 miles an hour. Again for John Woolf, 101 miles an hour on the straight, lifting the front wheel into that bend. Nice tight lines. He needs better than 51.27. Lovely tight line. Will he do it? No, he hasn't. He has just failed. 51.74 for John Woolf. So Leo Leonard, we expect, will be the other finalist. We'll have to wait and see, but he's been consistently faster than that all day. John Woolf, one of New Zealand's upcoming drivers. Leo Leonard in the final run of the semi-final. Now Leo has a best time to date of 50.79. He's the only driver who has been under 51 seconds all day. 1800, no, a 2-litre escort. 2-litre escort with the 4-speed box, which has a history of braking very easily. Leo Leonard obviously has a method of keeping it intact. He has been exceedingly quick all day. That's the fastest time for Leo Leonard in a straight line so far today, 101 miles an hour. He's on good pace. This may be a quick time. Jim Richards already the quickest so far. Jim Richards is one semi-finalist. Will Leo Leonard be the other? Look at the time. He is indeed 50.31, the fastest time of the day for Leo Leonard. Exceedingly fast. He must be pleased. And he is the finalist with Jim Richards. A happy man. Superb driving from Leo Leonard. The fastest time of the day. Howard Collier and John Woolf not quite fast enough, so our finalists are Leo Leonard and Jim Richards.
Did you expect to be in the final two?
No, I didn't.
Final four?
No, I didn't. But it's good to be standing here, that's for sure.
How did you do it?
I don't know. No, we sort of tried hard all day, and we sort of gradually got a bit quicker as we got used to the conditions, so here we are.
And now you're up against your old rival from the circuits. How do you feel about that?
Good, yeah, it's good to be up against him again. Hopefully this time we can beat him.
You think you'll beat Leo?
Yeah, of course we will.
He's been quicker than you all day. Have you got something up your sleeve?
Well, yeah, we've got a bit up our sleeve.
How much?
About half a second.
Very pleased with the way the car's going. And
The road suits the car, and we're just happy to be in the last four and now the last two, and especially...
Seems like the 4-speed escorts have been quicker on here.
Yes, it was a gamble. They're not the strongest box. They're pretty good, and ours is...
And you promptly went and dropped 2 seconds off your time. Have you got any more left?
If Jim goes away first, we might have to find something else.
So you're hoping that he'll...
No, it doesn't really worry me. I'll just go and drive the car as fast as it's capable of going.
So if you have to go off first, do you think you've got any more?
No, not really.
No more?
No, but I don't think I'll need any more.
Who would have expected the two saloon car drivers to be the finalists? Leo Leonard and Jim Richards being showed to the crowd to get in their cars for the final run. And Leo Leonard does not have the advantage of Jim Richards running first. Leo Leonard, remember, has had a best time of 50.31. He's been faster than Jimmy all day. Provided he stays online and on the road, this final should be his. Time to the top of the brow. Just watch and see what speed he reaches in the main straight. He has had 101, which gave him a time of 50.31 seconds. And he has 101 again. He must be on good pace. 50.31 his last run. Leo Leonard has been quicker all day than Jim Richards. Watching the final bend. Oh, just a little bit too wide. He may have lost a couple of hundredths in a second. 50.41. That's an exceedingly good time. Jimmy Richards will have to go like crazy to try and beat that. Leo Leonard, an exceedingly good run. 50.41. Let's see if Jimmy Richards can pull something out of the bag. He's a cagey driver. He will need to be a second faster than he has been all day. He's certainly got the power on right from the start. This machine, 1800 cc's, is against 2-litre Leo Leonard's, so he's slightly down on power. Half a second slower to the top of the brow. He will need to pull something out of the bag, really and truly, to beat Leo Leonard's time. Remember, it was 50.41. 98 miles an hour, so Jim Richards is 3 miles an hour slower than Leo Leonard in a straight line, just twitching slightly at the end there. On good pace, just a little bit wide, a little bit twitchy, 51.01. He couldn't quite do it. That's his fastest time all day, but not fast enough to beat Leo Leonard. So that Leo Leonard is the winner. Jimmy Richards, second place, 51.01. 8,000 odd crowd leaving, having seen an exceptionally exciting day of motor racing at Riverhead Forest. First place to Leo Leonard, he takes away $1,300. Jim Richards second place, $500. Howard Collier $400 in third place, and John Woolf was fourth. Let's have a look now at the style of a champion, Leo Leonard, the man from circuit racing who has come and beaten the rally drivers at their own sport.